You arrive at this moment carrying 1,000 small worries, lists, what-ifs, old voices that ask for safety above all else. Then a simple sentence appears like a sign at the side of the road: explore more, worry less. It isn't a command, it's an invitation. It's a breath that tells you curiosity will be kinder than fear, that the world will show you more when you stop guarding every step. Hear it as a spark, not to erase caution, but to rebalance your heart toward wonder. So take one slow, steady breath and feel the weight shift. Let the phrase rest inside you like a warm coat, and then step forward, soft but certain, then move with the road before you. Look at each small fear like a pebble in your shoe, nagging, distracting, never the whole journey. When you choose to explore more, you don't pretend. Pebbles vanish. You loosen your step. You trade clenched anticipation for a lightened gait. Imagine walking through a market you've never known, tasting new spices, hearing a language that sings in rhythms you don't yet understand. Curiosity makes your muscles relax. Worry tightens them. This is not reckless. It is deliberate unburdening. You are giving yourself permission to grow by following what tugs your attention. As you notice your shoulders drop and your breath lengthen, you'll know the quote is doing its quiet work and your path will widen. So follow that widening with gentle courage. Every explorer begins with a small, ordinary step, a packed bag, a ticket, a phone call, or simply a decision to look up. Those choices accumulate into a life that leans toward discovery. You will stumble, you will change course. But the power of explore more, worry less is in the daily steady breaths that follow each stumble. You choose curiosity over paralysis. You put your hand to the map and remember you are not alone. Others have walked this way and left traces of courage. Let that communal memory warm your hands. Let us go a little further together and listen for the stories waiting just beyond the next rise. Listen to the people who have chosen exploration as their philosophy. A friend who left a predictable job to learn how to cook in a new city. An aunt who took a train to meet strangers who became family. A neighbor who turned weekend hikes into a temple of quiet resilience. Each story reframes fear as a teacher, not a prison warden. In their voices, you'll hear the same thread. They didn't stop worrying entirely. They simply gave their attention to something larger. Their courage didn't erase hardship. It made hardship meaningful. When you trace these lines, you realize this quote is a promise passed between travelers, and as you accept it, you join a chorus that will carry you through uncertainty, so lean into their songs. Not every adventure needs a border crossing. Small, brave choices make a map. Saying yes to a new class, turning left instead of right, talking to the person with the open smile. These are the moments where you practice the muscle of daring, and each practice session makes the next decision easier. Over time, shy curiosity becomes steady curiosity. You learn to catalog your wins, tiny, glittering trophies that remind you exploration is always available, even in the daily grind. This map isn't about where you go on a map app. It's about how you direct your heart. Hold that map like a talisman and let it point you toward the next doorway of discovery and follow its light. There will be moments when the path looks unfamiliar and the horizon narrows. In those times, the mantra, explore more, worry less, becomes a tool, not a denial. You acknowledge the difficulty and still choose to look for what the detour offers. The traveler learns to read the weather of their emotions, to take shelter when necessary, to celebrate stretches of bright sky when they appear. Community matters most here. A message from a friend, a stranger's smile, a shared meal. These are the anchors that remind you exploration thrives, not in perfect conditions, but in a willingness to keep moving with grace. Let that willingness carry you deeper into the journey, onward and with intention. You know the hush that precedes a leap, the quiet tightening in your chest, the slow inventory of reasons to stay. That hush is sacred. It means you are standing at possibility. To explore more, worry less, is to honor that hush, to acknowledge your fear and still choose to launch. This is not reckless bravado. It's a kind of sacred reckoning. You become someone who makes promises to themselves about growth. In that space, you discover an inner courage that has always been present but never fully claimed. Feel it hum under your skin, a steady pulse that says, "I will try." Let that hum swell until it becomes your song, and then let it carry you into the air. No one who explores alone truly flies alone. There are teachers, companions, and those who simply cheer from the sidelines. When you let the community lift you, your leap becomes richer. Shared belief turns individual courage into a communal hymn. Think of every support you've received: an encouraging text, a mentor's nod, a stranger lending a hand. These become the gusts beneath your wings. By leaning into others, you transform solo daring into shared altitude. You were never meant to carry the entire sky by yourself. Let the uplift come, and accept help with gratitude, then keep soaring, because we rise higher when we rise together. Now you feel the apex, the moment when worry loosens its grip and curiosity unfurls like a sail. The view expands. You see patterns you couldn't see from below. Your heart remembers this light and knows it can return to it again. This is the transformative truth of the quote, that exploration rewires your attention from shrinking to expanding, from fear to fascination. Hold this truth close as you prepare to carry it home, for transformation is not only about distance traveled, but the radius of your soul's expansion. Keep that warmth and carry it with deliberate grace, onward and toward home. Every adventure becomes a story you return with, not to boast, but to offer. When you say, "Explore more, worry less" out loud, you give permission to someone else to loosen their fear. Your stories, honest, flawed, luminous, are gifts. Tell them in kitchens, comment threads, volunteer nights, and quiet walks. They will travel farther than you think. As you speak, you will hear new echoes, reflections from others who have tried and failed and tried again. These echoes become a map that you and your community can use to keep moving, to keep choosing curiosity. Share what you learned and then step into the next sunrise together, because the journey continues. Make exploration a habit, like a daily cup of tea. Habit doesn't remove fear, but it reshapes your default. Instead of defaulting to worry, you default to wonder. Build small rituals, morning questions, weekend micro-adventures, a monthly notebook of new things tried. These rituals remind you that life is an ongoing voyage, not a problem to be solved. Over time, this habit becomes your compass. It points toward learning, connection, and a resilient calm. You will be surprised how quickly your world grows when curiosity becomes the routine answer to uncertainty. Let this routine be your compass, pointing true north, and follow it with steady trust. This is the lesson the road teaches. When you choose to explore more and worry less, you don't become careless. You become courageous in the gentle way of those who know life is finite and curiosity is precious. The promise is simple. Each step taken with wonder multiplies the life you can live. You are part of a growing circle of people who choose light over tightening, who trade hypothetical disasters for lived discoveries. So carry this truth into your days. Tell a friend, leave a note, take a different route tomorrow. Explore more, worry less, because your life expands when your attention turns outward and our community grows stronger with every brave choice. If this speaks to you, subscribe to join us, share this with someone who needs permission to be curious, and leave your story in the comments. Together we keep walking toward more.